Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learn English with Sam and Pam. We are so happy you are here with us.
Hello, my name is Pam, and I am here with my friend Sam.
Hello, Pam. It is a very hot day today, isn't it?
It is. On hot days like this, I always want something cold and sweet to eat.
Me too. And I think I know the perfect food for a hot day. It's sweet, it's cold, and it comes in many different flavors.
Are you thinking about ice cream?
Exactly. Ice cream. I love it. My favorite flavor is chocolate. What about you?
I love strawberry. It is so refreshing. You know, Sam, we eat ice cream all the time, but I have no idea where it comes from. Who made the first ice cream?
That is a great question. The history of ice cream is very long and surprising. Today, let's learn about it together. And for our listeners, we will learn some new words. We will say them slowly and clearly.
This sounds like a fun topic. So where does the story begin?
Well, the story of ice cream begins a very long time ago, in ancient times. Ancient means something that is from thousands of years ago. The first ice cream was not actually made with cream.
No cream? Then what was it made of?
It was made of ice and snow. In ancient China, people would bring snow down from the mountains. They would mix the snow with fruit, honey, and different juices to add flavor. A flavor is the taste of a food, like chocolate, strawberry, or vanilla.
So the first ice cream was like a snow cone.
Exactly. It was a very special treat. In ancient Rome, the Emperor Nero also loved this snowy dessert. An emperor is like a very powerful king.
So the Emperor of Rome ate ice cream too?
Yes, he would send his servants to the top of the mountains to collect snow. The servants had to run very fast so the snow would not melt. Then the chefs would mix it with fruit and honey for the emperor. It was a food for very rich and important people.
Wow, I did not know that people were eating frozen desserts so long ago. So for a long time, ice cream was just snow with sweet flavors. When did that change?
The change came many years later. A famous explorer from Italy helped make the next step. An explorer is a person who travels to new places to discover things. His name was Marco Polo.
I have heard of Marco Polo. He traveled to China.
That's right. In the 13th century, he traveled all the way to China and lived there for many years. While he was there, he learned a recipe for a frozen dessert that was like sherbet or sorbet. A recipe is a set of instructions for making food.
So he brought this recipe back to Italy with him?
Yes, he did. This new kind of frozen dessert became very popular in Italy. Popular means that many people like something. Italian chefs became very good at making it. But it was still not the ice cream we know today. It did not have milk or cream.
Okay, so when did people start adding cream? This is the important part.
This is the most important part. This big change also happened in Italy around the 16th century. Italian chefs started to add milk and cream to the recipe. This made it much richer and smoother. It was the first real ice cream.
So we have Italy to thank for modern ice cream.
Yes, and the story continues. In the 1500s, an Italy noblewoman named Catherine de' Medici married the man who would become the king of France. She moved from Italy to France, and she brought her personal chefs with her.
And did her chefs bring the secret ice cream recipe?
They did. They made ice cream for the royal court in France. For a long time, ice cream was a luxury food. A luxury is something that is expensive and special that not everyone can have. It was a royal dessert. A dessert is a sweet food you eat at the end of a meal.
So only kings, queens, and very rich people could eat this amazing new dessert. That is not fair. When did it become a food for everyone?
That happened in 1686. A man in Paris, France, opened a cafe. It was the first cafe to sell ice cream to everyone, not just rich people. Anyone could go in and buy a dish of ice cream.
That is a very important moment in ice cream history. So now people in France could enjoy it. What about the rest of the world, like America?
Ice cream traveled to America with people from Europe. The first ice cream parlor in America opened in New York City in 1776. But it was still difficult and expensive to make. People had to cut big blocks of ice from frozen rivers in the winter and store them all year.
That sounds like a lot of work. What made it easier?
The big change was new technology. Technology means new machines and new ways of doing things. In 1943, a Nancy Johnson invented a hand-cranked ice cream making machine. A machine is a tool with moving parts that helps you do a job.
A machine to make ice cream at home. That's a great invention.
It was. And then, with the invention of refrigerators and freezers, it became very easy to make and store ice cream. Soon, factories were making ice cream, and the price went down. Everyone could afford to buy it.
That is wonderful. So now everyone can enjoy ice cream. You know, there is one more thing. What about the ice cream cone? Eating ice cream from a cone is the best way.
That is another great story. The ice cream cone was invented by accident. It happened in 1904 at the St. Louis World's Fair in America. An ice cream seller was very busy and ran out of clean dishes.
Oh no, what did he do?
Next to him was a man selling a thin, crispy waffle. He had an idea. He rolled the waffle into a cone shape, let it cool, and put a scoop of ice cream on top. People loved it, and the ice cream cone was born.
What a great accident! From ancient snow treats to an ice cream cone at the World's Fair, ice cream has had a very long and interesting journey.
It really has. That was a lot of history. Should we review the new words we learned today?
Yes, let's do a review.
The first word was ancient. Ancient means from a very long time ago.
Next was flavor, the flavor of a food like chocolate.
Then, emperor. An emperor is a very powerful ruler, like a king.
We learned explorer. An explorer is a person who travels to discover new places.
And recipe. A recipe is a set of instructions for cooking.
The next word was popular. If something is popular, many people like it.
We also learned luxury. A luxury is something special and expensive.
Then dessert. A dessert is a sweet food you eat after a meal.
And technology and machine. A machine is a type of technology that helps us do things.
Wow, we learned so many words today. Now I will think of emperors and explorers every time I eat my strawberry ice cream.
Me too. And we hope you, our listeners, enjoyed the story too. Now we have a question for you.
What did you learn today? Think of one new thing or one new word you learned with us. Tell a friend or write it down in a notebook.
It is a great way to practice. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening to Learn English with Sam and Pam.
Join us next week for a new conversation. Until then, keep practicing. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.